If you are hunting trouble, lad, you found it!
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new video. In this video I'm going to be talking about the Arisaka Mortar, my thoughts on it. I know I'm probably very late to this, given that it came out like a month ago now, but it's just something I want to talk about. It's like the Liberator, it's just a quick little brain dump about the weapon. But yeah, the Arisaka Mortar is... I'm gonna like spoil it already. It's probably one of the worst ever tank slot weapons ever. Like, the only thing I can compare it to in the tech tree is the Sturm pistol, which is like that little German flare grenade launcher thing. It's like that if it was bad, if it was like really bad, right? uh, but yeah, it's gonna be a BR3 rating, a 40 muzzle velocity, 33 fire, reload time is 4 seconds, which is pretty long, very, very long actually. Shots deviation of 8, which is actually really good, but it has a vertical and horizontal reload of 358 plus 293, which is insane. That is like, that's actually nuts. Like, that's probably one of the one of the single highest recoil stats in the entire game. I'm gonna like gesture to say, I'm gonna throw that out there that it might be. It has one round in the magazine. Comes with one in the chamber and 5 in reserves. The weight is 4 pounds. 4 kg. Sprint factor is 100, so it does not reduce your sprinting at all. And it has splash damage up to 21 meters, but it best works within 1 to 14 meters, which I will get to in a second. Okay, so the damage on this is okay against infantry, right? It's like perfectly fine against infantry, right? It's got a pretty decent splash damage too. You can usually hit 3 or 4 enemy soldiers within the explosion's radius, which is actually it's pretty decent for anti-infantry explosives. Definitely a lot bigger than the standard AT launcher explosions. Excuse me. But yeah, it's just the biggest flaw with this weapon is the fact that it takes up the anti-tank slot, which is pretty valuable on your AT troopers, especially if you're free to play and don't have like a bunch of premium squads that have like 5 or 6 AT troopers, which I don't even know if there is one with that many, but I'm just being like hyperbolic, right? Just being like a little bit loose with it. But it's like, compared to everything else in the slot for Japan, genuinely everything else in the slot is better when it comes to actually doing any AT role. And why you'd want to sacrifice a valuable anti-tank weapon, which you could be using to, if you have the anti-tank rifle, you could be using it to shoot down enemy planes with. Obviously, vehicles, most vehicles, even I think the fully upgraded AT rifle does good against, right? Does at least decent. Or you could have one of the few 3 rocket launchers and just be slapping vehicles out of existence. I personally prefer the Type 4 over the I personally prefer the Type 4 over the Type 5 because while the Type 5 is better at close range, a lot of the time you are going to be trying to maybe get some hits in from longer ranges, and the Type 4 is better than that. But yeah, regardless, like, I don't understand why you would want to sacrifice a valuable AT weapon for like a meme weapon that has 6 shots that you can knock out maybe 2, 3 full squads if you're lucky, if you have really good aim, right? It just seems kind of counterintuitive to even playing AT when you could just like get a grenade belt and just like load up on a bunch of grenades and have effectively the same thing without sacrificing your anti-tank weapon, right? And another thing is that just like it just isn't really that good. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I know I said in that ranking video how I didn't really care for the rifle grenades, right, on Rifleman 2 and 3. but it's just those are that. Excuse me, those are this, but way better. You get to have way more shots. I think when you max out the grenades, you get like 8 or 9 rifle grenades spare. It's effectively that, but better, and it's actually good at destroying vehicles, unlike this crap. Uh, so yeah, just don't use the Arisaka Mortar. It's just another one of those useless battle pass meme weapons. You can't just like you can't take it seriously. Is my point. Another bad thing about it that I've noticed, especially while trying to gather footage, which yeah, the footage in the background besides the weapon testing is going to be completely unrelated because it genuinely is just that difficult to actually get good clips with it. A lot of the Japan maps are usually too open to be able to sneak up on people properly. So I just ended up being a salter and just like hip fire spraying people and somehow top scoring from that. But yeah, but yeah, the maps don't really help it either because you have to be like really close range, much closer range than you'd have to be with rifle grenades. By the way, rifle grenades get you a lot more range than the Arisaka Mortar does. And excuse me, one of the points I forgot about earlier. I'm sorry, I'm also recording this like super duper late. One of the points I also forgot earlier is that like it has really bad splash damage if you shoot it close. The sights are very awkward, and you have to aim up really heavy just to get like you have to aim up really far just to get like any distance on the projectile at all. So it's not at all uncommon if you accidentally like blow yourself up while using it, especially if you're trying to shoot near any building because that splash damage just loves to magnetize towards you for like zero reason. And stuff like rifle grenades and regular rockets do not have the same problem at all. Although I must say the hit reg on some of the regular rocket launchers in Enlisted in general is pretty terrible when you're trying to shoot them, sort of over grates or from around corners, especially. It is incredibly awkward sometimes to actually get projectiles through without accidentally blowing yourself up. But I feel like the Arisaka mortar especially has that problem. So yeah, in conclusion, in conclusion, I do not think it's a good weapon at all. What they should have done is made it a primary weapon and maybe lock it to AT only. Not as an anti-tank weapon, but as a primary slot weapon. So you could have your anti-infantry glass cannon instead of your rifle and maybe be able to take more mortars with it, more ammunition with it from ammo packs. Maybe have like a max of 20 or something if you have a large ammo pack. And have it be a anti-tank specific thing, or have it just be primary in general that is usable by riflemen and guerrillas maybe, because I think it would be excellent with guerrillas. Honestly, like this would pair really really well with guerrillas because you could have the secondary weapon slot unlocked. It's like one of the few class types that gets a secondary slot for basically free to where they don't have to give up anything. You could have it in your secondary slot and have an SMG in your primary. So you have crowd control and regular anti-infantry. I think it would work really well as that and something they probably should have done. I don't think it would be very overpowered per se because you only do get 4 in total. I think if you buy the premium battle pass, whatever it was, whatever it was called, excuse me. But you only got 4 in total, which I don't think would be too annoying unless you had some type of cheese strategy for it. But yeah, that's what I would suggest to fix it, is make it easier to aim, like give it more range without having to pull up as heavily, because it is quite annoying compared to the Sturm pistol, the Panzerfaust, and the rifle grenades, which all have like a similar sort of lobbing projectile. I think those are all way easier to aim, and this should be made easier to aim too. I also don't think it needs to be BR3. Like, as it is, it's like a BR2 weapon. Honestly, it could even be a BR1 weapon. It's genuinely just not that good. It's like genuinely, down there in quality. Uh, but yeah, What would I rate this on a scale 1 to 5 on the Scrumpy meter? Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a 1. Like, it's just not good. It's just not good. Like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Arisaka Mortar, you're just terrible. But yeah, that's it for this video. I appreciate you guys listening to my ramblings about this god awful stinky weapon in Enlisted. And I am out.
Thanks, mate!